Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Tattoo Homewreckers, podcast where we talk about tattoos, life, and everything in between. My name is Callista, and this is
Laughing Lou.
And today, we did not plan any kind of prompt whatsoever. We're just going to hang out with you guys and talk.
Yeah.
We're
still, we're just a couple days into owning the business.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we've owned a business for like a month or so, but being open. So we haven't necessarily had the time or energy to sit down and be like, this is the real thing we will talk about.
Yeah. I don't know about you. Well, to paint a picture of how today went, we were both struggling to wake up. It was not happening. We were supposed to start recording at 8 o'clock.
It's now 8:45.
Yeah, 8:45. It's okay. It happens. Because we were just fucking dead. Like, so fucking tired. And it has just been a lot. You're still getting to learn how to use the coffee machine.
I know. I have 3 cups of coffee.
Yes.
Oh, that one's got a coaster attached to him. Because 1 cup Caboose made, but then it didn't taste right. So
he didn't spit in it. So
yeah, I don't know. He also is getting used to using our new coffee maker, because we had one of those. You see, we had a pour over, we had a French press. He ain't like any of those. And he is the primary coffer. I seriously can't talk, so enjoy this episode, you guys. Yeah, he is the person who primarily makes the coffee. So, yeah, he was like, I'm vetoing all this shit. We're too tired. This last month, we've consumed more coffee than we have our whole lives.
Oh, yeah, dude. The caffeine consumption has been nuts. Like, off the charts caffeine consumption. It got to a point where I was like, oh, no, a full can of Monster isn't hitting anymore. And I've never gotten to that point before. And you know it's bad when you have to switch brands just to feel something a little bit different?
Yeah,
Awful.
I started drinking Red Bull.
Yeah.
And I never drink Red Bull.
So I would circle through. It's either Red Bull, Alani, and if that didn't work, then it would be Monster. And then suddenly Monster didn't work, and when I was getting really desperate, Bang. Yeah, it was fucking awful. We've consumed so much more coffee. Yep. With that being said, we're also getting used to the studio. So
No, wait, we have to tell them my important story.
Oh, yeah.
So it filled up the coffee maker. It's like kind of smart and shit. I don't know. Caboose handled it.
It's like kind of.
So it filled up my coffee cup. I was going to say my coffee pot, but I guess it's a little bit like a pot.
Well, I mean,
it's like a cup is just a portable pot.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Yeah, right? You guys.
I'm looking at it again. God damn it.
Yeah, it filled it up, but then it stopped, and it was like telling me stuff, and I got really confused, and I was like, okay, now I'm going to continue. I'm going to do the stuff it needs, add more water, clean out the grounds, all that shit that it wants me to do. And then I got scared, and I had to Indiana Jones it with my second cup.
Right,
and
it was getting
I did it. Yeah, it got dangerously high, and I fucking did it, and I felt like a boss.
Yeah,
so that's the important part. But that made us realize that we should probably also talk about, like, learning new things, because I'm going to speak for you for a second.
Absolutely.
But as recovering, like, perfectionists, we both used to get hella mad when learning something and hella frustrated.
Yes.
And I know I have gotten better, and watching you, I can see where you've gotten way better. And right now we are in a giant learning curve.
I know, it is really beautiful because, I mean, we're healing at so many different angles. One of it being that perfectionist zone and, like, realizing where all that trauma comes from, too. So, I've talked about it on the episodes before, but I think I disguise it as, oh, yeah, we're working on the house. No, we were working on the business.
Yeah.
So learning how to do, like, just new things like replacing outlets or fucking painting cabinets, which was a whole debacle in and of itself. Or fucking, what else? Replacing fans, taking down LED lights, like stuff like that. And it's
fluorescent lights.
Fluorescent lights, yeah.
Replacing them with LED.
Yes.
Because LED is more cost efficient, and we don't have to worry about the bulbs going out.
Yeah, fluorescent lights, can we put an end to that? As a society, can we all put our foot down and say no more?
Well, I think it was hard for me because we walked into that space, and obviously there was lots of potential, but, like, the moment I see fluorescence, I'm just like, no. Is this a government building? Because it feels like a government building from the 80s. Dude. No, I'm not doing it. I can also hear them whirring, so if you're like me and you have that, like, frequency that you can hear.
Yeah.
You can hear them, and they make noises at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Which is like the most uncomfortable noise. I think I've only ever heard those like when I was already in like a migraine, at school or something like that. There's a lot of favorite things about the shop that like we both have, but one of my favorite things is the fucking windows, the natural light coming in.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my fucking God, like such a game changer. I feel like a whole different person. And that's beautiful. But yeah, knowing that like learning new things, what did I say? Oh yeah, whenever I go through like hard learning curves, I'm just like, I just have to remind myself, and this is what keeps me going, that the next time I do this, it only gets easier from here. You keep going, you keep showing up, it'll only get easier.
Yep.
Yeah. So it is really healing, and knowing that like there's not any outward pressure for us to be perfect either.
Yeah, I think that's probably my favorite part, is being able to then, like, I think it's really important to build a safety net of people around you.
Yes.
I forgot that this hoodie makes my hands look like they're tiny, so I look like those little tiny people hands.
Oh, we need to get those for the shop.
Yeah, it's like having a community of people around you that are really forgiving with you learning things, and also when you get like, you as a person, the like universal you, get hyper fixated on getting something right the first time, are not necessarily like, what did you expect? You just learned it. Because like that would be the other side for me, is it's like there was this, like I grew up in a place of everything has to be perfect because you're hustling for your worthiness. Like you have to prove that you are worthy of being loved. And then that has like continued through my whole life, because in complete honesty, that's how people get to take advantage of me. So you learn that like one trait about me, and then you can work me until I'm dead, because I will try to prove to you that I'm worthy of being loved.
100%.
And so like simultaneously we're healing that, but also now with you guys, when I'm like, hey, this thing's not working out, you're just like, okay, that's all right. We're learning. And it like, and like we all do it for each other. So it's like built this safety net of people around us. And like that's what I would recommend for people, is like do those little small testers. Like that's what my therapist was saying. It was like, do tiny testers of this trust, to be like, hey, I'm learning this, and make sure that you can trust this person to be a soft place to land when you're recovering from the fact that it's like, I'm supposed to get everything right the first time and it needs to be perfect. And then also the actual definition of perfect, which is like,
which
a game
so
changer.
Yeah. Do you want to tell them what the actual definition?
Yeah, you talk to them for a second while I pull up the Webster.
Absolutely. The actual.
Also, why is Webster the fucking dictionary we go to?
I don't know. I would love to see the lore behind that. Because obviously, there's a documentary on it somewhere, I'm sure.
Oh, the documentary about the dictionary? That would be so good.
There has to be one. But yeah, the actual definition of the word perfect healed a lot of wounds for us as well, because it's not something that you think it was. I think society took the word perfect and like twisted it into this unattainable thing. And we're all familiar with that. But here's the actual.
So it is having all the required or desirable elements, qualities, or characteristics as good as it can possibly be.
Period.
That's it. So, like, when you think about it in that, because I've spent my life with people calling me a perfectionist, and, like, I still refer to myself as a recovering perfectionist, but I very much see that as, like, recovering from, like, the dumb definition that I was told, which was something being this, like, unattainable thing that, like, perfection isn't real. And I was listening to Insight Podcast, and you guys know, I love them. They're amazing.
Yes, sir.
And they got into a little, like, scuffle about it, because they were, like, arguing about perfectionism being, like, a good thing, that there can be good perfectionism and bad perfectionism. And Helen brought up that definition. However, they did it more eloquently. Like, they obviously paused their podcast and, like, cut out the parts where they're like, fuck, I don't know, let me look it up. And then came back with that of, like, look, it's as good as it can get, like, with the circumstances that you're working within. And when I heard that, it's like all this weight came off, where I was like, you know what? Everything I do is perfect, because I work as hard as I can with whatever energy I have at that point, and with whatever tools I have, with whatever knowledge. So just because it's like something might not be good, it doesn't mean it's not perfect, because I either have all the energy, and if my energy is like 2, then it's going to show that, and that's totally A-okay, because that's all I can give at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the thing, is it goes into the whole concept that 100% effort looks different every single day, and just, I don't know, acknowledging the humanity and flexibility in that. But yeah, when it comes to perfectionism, when people use it in a bad way, I always think that's so interesting because, like, oh, you know, you're a perfectionist. I mean, obviously, everyone's perspective and perception of what perfect is going to be is totally different from each other. But I kind of think of it as like working on a movie. You want to be working with a director that notices everything because that's going to be the person that fucking like makes a good movie, right? You don't.
Yeah, my nose is itchy. Sorry.
I was like, what's going on?
I'm also just super wiggly. I'm having a hard time sitting still.
Yeah, you got the wigs?
I do. It's real bad.
I wish we could take you guys out on a walk with us. That'd be super fun. But yeah, no, there's already been so much healing around like that for all of us too. Because whenever I was taking so long editing the first vlog, and I projected that I only had like an hour left to edit, right? Because for the most part, all the episodes are like 75 to 80% done. They just need to be put into the computer and then like actually uploaded with like pretty, you know, fucking thumbnails and shit like that.
Wow,
And
that's a lot of work. I can't believe you've gotten all of them like that far.
for the most part, there's a few that like haven't been started yet, like the ones that we just like recorded and stuff. So it's just all in backlog. So when I get, you know, tired of editing one episode, then I go to the other one, and then they're on and therefore. What?
Can I talk about that real fast?
Yeah.
Can I? Or you know, you finish your thing, and then we have to come back to that.
Okay, sounds good. Hold that. It'll be quick. So I projected that I only had an hour, and then it ended up taking me fucking 5. And I was thinking about it. I was like really close to going into a shame spiral, but then I was like, no, if it were Lou or Caboose doing this, if they were in your shoes and they were working hard on editing and, you know, they turned to you and they said, dude, why this is taking so much longer, I would just be like, that fucking sucks, dude, I'm sorry. And so long as it gets done, it doesn't really fucking matter. I'd just be like, well, thank you for working on it, and that's it, period. And I was like, wow, I was able to be kind to myself in that moment. Okay, what were you gonna say?
I forgot.
No. You held it? We were talking about the vlog?
I held it, but then my hand got heavy.
Oh, okay. That's fair. I'm sure we'll think of it again.
No, what did you say? What did you say right before then? Oh, you moved from topic to topic.
Yeah.
Okay, so, obviously, like, it's an ADHD thing when they talk about, like, getting, like, you get the, like, dopamine fix, so you start something, and then you, like, jump over here, and it was something that I realized, not too long ago, was that, like, when we work on these projects, like, part of the reason why you and I are so productive, and we're not going to deny that, I'm aware that it is insane that we renovated, opened a studio in a month. I know that's crazy. And
we also have an ongoing podcast too. Like,
yeah, we have
so
a
many
podcast. We also
do.
tattooed full time during that, except for the last little bit when we were trying to get the health department out. So I'm aware that like it's nuts. I don't recommend it whatsoever. You will not hear me say that enough. Of like, I don't recommend pushing yourself to that level.
Yeah.
But one of the things that we do a lot is that where it's like, okay, I will work on something up until I hit that either block barrier, like whatever it is, whether it's like there's an issue that like my brain can't figure out right now. And we then essentially reward ourselves, but we jump to another project, which is why everything looks like it's like you said, everything's like 70, 80% of the way done. And then they'll all finish right around the same time because then you do it. And I was thinking about that because like Caboose and I were in therapy. And he was talking about how his brain, like, works on, like, one, like, he is very, like, singularly focused and how incredibly frustrating that must be.
Yeah, totally.
Because for me, I'm like, but how the fuck do you guys ever, like, accomplish, like, a large array of things? Like, how frustrating that your brain is like, hey, I am going to work on this one thing until completion. And that's something that, like, when you do the reading about, like, ADHD, it's like, hey, just, like, focus on one task. And I'm saying fuck that.
Oh, totally.
If your brain wants to jump from task to task to task to task, I personally am like, for myself, I'm a huge advocate of like to-do lists.
Yeah.
But I will mark like that I'm like halfway done with the project. So like if it's going to take a long time, I add like little extra check boxes so I can like track my progress. And that way I know, like, where I'm at with things, as opposed to, like, if I don't write it down, then I'm probably going to forget it. And then I come back later. It's like we were supposed to record yesterday, excuse me, instead of first thing on the day this is being released.
Yep.
But, and then we both just forgot and had, like, a nice day anyway.
Yes. A day that we definitely fucking needed. Because it's been a long time since we've had a day where we just sat on the couch and did nothing. fuck, dude, it's
Yeah.
been a while. So
When
yeah.
I had to do artwork for clients, and I'm still like doing
I still
artwork for
edited
myself.
reels and shit like that.
Yeah,
but-
we still work. We just weren't like as crazy.
Mhm.
But I was thinking about how frustrating that must be, and that if your brain does work like the way ours does, where it like jumps from project to project to project, as long as you are able to create some sort of system that you can like track the projects you're working on, whether that's a to-do list or like whatever the fuck that looks like for you, just lean into it. Fucking lean into it. Because like there is no reason why that cannot be successful, because I would consider myself to be a successful person, and it fucking works for me, and it works for you and our friends that are neurodivergent, which is most of them, tend to work that way too. So that's why we have like outliers like Caboose, who he is like singularly focused. He does one project, and the moment that that project like stops, it's going to the graveyard. He's not going to pick it back up. Whatsoever. Now, we're lucky enough that like then I can pick shit back up, or you can be like, okay, let me take that over. But he's that like 80% done, runs into a problem, and just gets fucking stuck. And I like, my heart just goes out that that's got to be the most frustrating thing.
Totally, because when you're in that like, gosh, speed bump area, you know, of projects where it's genuinely like, oh fuck, now I have to slow down, or like school zone area where it's like, instead of going like 65 on the freeway, arguably 85 on the freeway, and then going down to 15, that fucking blows. Because the second that I'm like, okay, I'm tired of editing this, I know I can pick it back up, but I'm not going to force myself to do it, because it's just going to take twice the amount of time to finish, and then also twice the amount of spoons. Like, I'm not going to drag myself through the dust. I know it'll get done no matter what.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not here to punish myself. I feel the same way about fitness. You are very wiggly.
I am. I'm really sorry.
It's okay. Don't.
I'm hot. I drank my coffee and then I got hot, and I didn't put on a shirt because I was like, well, I don't think I'm going to need a shirt.
Let's be real.
Because I'm going to get cold. I know it's not my first time recording a sports bra.
I was going to say, it's not your first time, so I don't
It's
think
not.
it matters. Can I ask you what your gender
also
feels
itchy.
like today?
Oh, yeah. Itchy, wiggly.
Itchy and wiggly.
Okay, you know what it actually, the best description for it? I feel like, I think they were called slinkies. The like, it was just a coil. But not the fun, colorful ones, or the ones that had fluffy bits around them. That might not be true. I might just be remembering that had a fluffy edge. Maybe I want a
Fluffy
slinky
edge?
with like a like the fluffy. Do you know what a slinky is?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. My brain is obsessed now with like one that has like on either end. It's got like the texture that Barbie's shoe has on it.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, like a feather.
Yeah, like a little
situation.
feather boa situation, but not
Yeah.
feathers, because I don't like those
I know
like
it's
feather
not.
boas.
It's not actually feathers. They're like I don't know.
Yeah,
what they
they're
are.
just
The
bits.
synthetic. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
The bits.
That's
the bits.
Yep.
Yeah, I feel like a slinky that is going down the stairs and up the stairs.
That's God. That sounds horrible.
No, it's fine, because I know
fine?
that like it's when I was like afraid that I might be bipolar, where I was like, oh, I'm going up, and now I just ride the roller coaster of like ADHD, and I'm like, I'm just very hyper today.
Oh, totally.
I like have the wigs. It's my body's way of telling me that I didn't work out in 2 days, and it needs to like work out. And so like my body just feels like a slinky.
Do tell me about it. My body and my brain are collaborating with each other to like. So when I say that I self-medicate my like depression with fucking working out and stuff, it's so real, because I don't get the dopamine that I get when I stop working out for long periods of time. It really does take a toll on my brain's chemistry and also my body. You know, my body just doesn't feel good. And my brain the other day was just like, you suck. You aren't worthy. You'll never be worthy of like the shop and your friends and your life and blah, 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 blah. Like, you're an imposter. And it was literally like, it was so refreshing to just be like, okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I understand that we haven't worked out. I know that. And just like talking to it rationally of like, I promise we'll work out. And I did not want to work out yesterday at all, period. I was not having a good time, but I still did it. And I feel significantly better today. So I totally understand that, where it's just like, dude, my body and my brain are both collaborating with each other to tell me to fucking work out. And that's where I truly feel like a sim. It's almost like my sim character's like health levels are down. So now I'm like, oh, fuck, now I have to actually do this. It's not what I want to do, but I'll do it in order to keep my sim healthy and happy. So
That makes sense.
yeah. My gender, what does it feel like today? I feel like a a witch from a bog, like a swamp witch.
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. I'm getting my hair done today. I'm really excited.
I'm
because
so excited.
I felt so fucking disconnected from my
You
body.
look like a normie.
And my hair, yes. And, like, I know that the girls, gays, and theys out there will fucking, like, know what I'm talking about when I say, like, a haircut changes your perception of yourself greatly. And I've been growing out the sides, like, for over a year now. And I'm finally ready to fucking shave them again. The reason why I grew them out is just because, like, I needed more, like, actual long hair to do more fun things. But the only way to do it in a non-awkward way was to, just grow it all out at once. For me, at least. And now I'm finally fucking shaving it today. So I'm really fucking excited. And I'm also dyeing it. And yeah, I just, I feel like a century-old, like, she's been in the bog for, like, at least 300 years. And she's in desperate need of a haircut. And I'm so excited for her.
Oh, you're like the witches from Stardust.
Yeah.
And then you're trying to get your energy and your beauty back.
No, exactly. All I need is a haircut. I don't need to sacrifice children or anything. I'm just coming out of the swamp so that way I can freshen up a bit and then I'll be a beautiful swamp witch. So yeah, that's what my gender feels like today.
I thought of something else and I forgot it again.
That's okay. It happens.
In my brain, I'm running around like a crazy, like, fool, just like...
You've got the human zoomies.
I do madly have the human zoomies.
Yes. Can we talk about that part of ADHD? That's so hard. I hate that.
What?
Where I feel like a broken sim, where, like I'll be like, I need to do this, and then I'll do it for 2 seconds, and then my brain's like, I need to do this, and I'll, like, just, like, roam around the house, like, touching things, but not actually doing anything. It's so hard.
I love it.
I hate that.
I used to hate it, and now I'm at a place where I'm like, how cool is it that your brain can do all these things at one time? My body can't necessarily do all the things, and that's why I have to, like, pause in the middle of stuff. But when I turn around and I look and there's just a fucking hurricane of, like, stuff, like, we've got the Cricut shit all over the dining room table, and then the blankets were on the floor because I was in the middle of making the couch, and then there are boxes everywhere, but then I have this thing with cardboard because I don't like to fill up our recycling, like, overly full. So I cut cardboard down. Also, it's just, like, a really fun repetitive task.
Yes.
So I cut it down into little boxes, threw my hair everywhere. And then I was doing the dishes. So the dishwasher was open. And then I was also, I was loading the dishwasher, but then I had just put away some dishes. So all the cabinets were open. And if you came in the house, you'd be like, what the fuck? And I used to be super duper ashamed of it. But now I'm at a point where I just, like, think about, because, like, 12-year-old me was the me that got, like, in trouble for not, like, finishing one task.
Right.
And so now anytime that happens where I'm like, oh, I have, like, not started the laundry, but I put the stuff in and then I put the Tide Pod in there and then I forgot to start it and then I have this over there. Then when I, like, get to that place where I'm like, oh my God, you didn't finish any of these tasks, I just go, 12-year-old me would think that I'm the coolest person ever for accomplishing 17 million things all at once.
Yes.
And maybe none of them have yet to be accomplished because usually that results, you get this, in, like, then we just get stuck somewhere. So then I'll sit down for 2 seconds and then you just get, like, paralysis.
Oh, I hate that part too. Where I'm like, why am I on the bathroom floor? How did I get here? I've been here for 45 minutes.
And see, like, I'm still in a place where unless I have an appointment that I'm running late to, I'm just like, okay, well, that's where we are now. That I'll be like, oh, what? How did we get? Okay, well, we're just here.
That's nice.
And then I'm just like, okay, do you want to get up? And then, hey, we could finish 5 tasks in, like, 2 minutes because we got everything 90% of the way done. And then I just get to do that. Or I'll do that where I ask you guys for help and I'm like, okay, Caboose, like, we decorated the house for Halloween because we got shamed by a child for not having Halloween decorations out.
Now you need to tell the story. People need to know.
Okay, so last year we had an over-the-top, like, Caboose built a platform on the side of the house, and we had a spider web that went, like, all across the driveway in the front of the house.
Yes.
We hung it, like, from the second-story window, so it's massive because I am very big on decorations. We discovered this the other day. I'm actually not a good driver during this time of year. I turned down the wrong road on the way to our friends because I saw decorations and I wanted to drive down that road.
Yeah, you got excited.
I love Halloween decorations, Christmas decorations, anything where you light up your house and decorate your house. my fucking favorites.
Dude, last year we went, like, balls to the wall. I think we had a weekend, like, a day where we just, like, played Halloween music and got all the decorating done. Because even the inside of our house was decorated.
Oh, it was so good.
Yeah.
Callie put, like, spiders everywhere. I felt like I was in the Hocus Pocus, like, cabin. Was amazing.
Yeah, and then I even decorated my own room for no reason, just because I wanted it to be spooky.
It was so cool.
Yeah, and again, spider webs everywhere and all that fun stuff. But, like, I felt so bad because this year I turned to you and I said, I'm not going to do any of that. Yeah. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That is not happening.
We canceled our Halloween party. We're just like, dude, absolutely not. I'm so exhausted.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, this dad and his son were riding their bikes by the house, and the kid was like, oh, this was the spider house.
How did you remember, kid?
Yeah, like, I'm talking, he's like 4, you guys.
He's young,
he's little.
Yeah.
Like, at most, he's 5.
At most.
He's little. And so I'm like, oh, shit. Like, I'm outside. I don't know what the fuck I was doing. And the dad was like, hey, haha, yeah, it was. Don't let him shame you. And at which point, a wave of, like, oh, fuck, you're disappointing this child. So even though this kid did not shame in, like, a bad way, we're using that in, like, a fun term. It's just that, like, it's been on my fuck, I wish we would have decorated the house. Well, at least the outside.
You had already were thinking about it because people were starting to put their decorations up and you were like, oh, gosh, I really wish that we could.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, I'm sorry. Like, I'm like, I mean, we can, but I'm fucking exhausted. Like, again, we just opened a business and, like, what?
Yeah, and we're still, like, yeah, we're still getting stuff in because there's stuff like the armrests that are on back order. So there's still stuff that we're constantly figuring out because it very much feels like when you first move out and you're like, oh, no, we don't have a trash can in this spot. We should probably go do that. Totally. Oh, we need dish towels, like that kind of thing. Yeah. So all of our energy is going towards that. So we haven't had the energy. But then that kid, as I nicely put it, that child shamed me. And so then...
It was pretty hilarious. I'm like, how the fuck did this kid remember?
Yeah. And so then... But, like, for me, I knew that I was like, I'm the kind of kid that remember it. I remember this haunted house because it's also, like, what I want to do with our garage one day. That I went in... And, I mean, I was 11, so of course I'd remember it. But it was just so cool because they turned their entire garage and their, like, downstairs into a haunted house. And it was free. It was just, like, 4... kids to go trick-or-treating in, and it was so fucking cool, and I just remember how, like, magical that was, and even at that age, I thought about, like, somebody put so much love and effort into this that's amazing. So I guess this is a very long way of getting to my point of, like, I went to go pull the decorations down, but Caboose ended up doing it for me, and then we raced him, because I was like, okay, 2 things that have to get done this evening is the... like, decorations have to go up. And also, we have to walk the dogs. And he didn't want to do the decorations, and I didn't particularly feel like walking the dogs. So I was like, can you walk the dogs? And in the time that you walk the dogs, I will race you to get all the decorations up. Yep. And then Callie saw me when I was, like, getting decorations. She's like, oh, can I come hang out with you? And then she helped me decorate. So it is very low effort. Our spider is on the ground this year. But, like, ain't no one got time or energy to, like, build the platform, put it up, all that jazz.
We just had a fucking baby. That was my thing. I was just like, oh, God. Yeah. And talk about just having a baby in such a short amount of time. We both still walk into our studio going, what?
Yeah, it feels really weird because everyone keeps congratulating us, and it doesn't feel real.
We're both like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, there's definitely, I wouldn't say for me it's like bad imposter syndrome where I'm like, you don't deserve this. But it does genuinely, in the best way, feel like a dream where I'm like, wait, I'm here. This is real. So I'm waiting to come back, like, down from that to be like, okay, this is real. Like, this is the place that you're going to be in the rest of the time that you're here in Reno. Dude, yeah. And, like, how amazing is that? Because I agree with you. Those windows, y'all, it's a fucking game changer. And it's not like we're, like, looking at, like, these, like, stunning, like, mountain vista views. Like, it's a parking lot. But just to have natural light and then have trees where I can see them.
So refreshing.
Game changer.
It is refreshing. God damn.
It's so good.
Okay, well, with that being said, what was your win of the week?
Okay, so my win, I feel like we didn't talk about anything real. What type of kisser are you?
Ew, dude.
You have to answer it.
I don't fucking know. I don't know. For fucking context, this is a question from...
I remembered what my answer is supposed to be.
Love is Blind. It's from Love is Blind. And
yes.
They asked each other dumbass questions in the fucking pods, but that was one of them. And we were all like, What kind of fucking question is that?
Yeah, because what kind of question is, what kind of kisser are you?
If someone asked me that while I was on the show in a pod, I'd be like, you would just have to find out. I don't know. I don't have any client
that's very flirty.
It is flirty, but like in an aggressive way.
And I was talking to your client the other day when we were talking about it while you were tattooing in our new studio.
Ooh.
And then I think they said teethy.
Yeah.
Yes. And so I was like, oh my God, that's it. If anyone ever asks me what type of kisser I'm going to be, I'm like, I'm teethy. I'm the most teethy, like all teeth, nothing but teeth. Yeah. Because I feel like that would have been hilarious. I'm sure the like producers would cut that shit out of the TV.
No, I think we're entertaining enough.
But yeah, so teethy is my answer.
Yeah.
But I have this great idea, right? Because I don't have the patience for it. So if somebody can like source just magically, I don't know, through lots of work, or if there's just a random person out there that has collected all the random questions from Love is Blind when they're in the pods and they're asking each other these ridiculously dumb questions, I would love to answer all of those questions on the podcast because I think they're hilarious. Because some of them are like, okay, what's your greatest fear? Which like we've done that before. Mm-hmm. But also those answers do change and evolve as we've changed and evolved.
Yeah.
Because we've been doing this for a little over a year.
Yeah, totally. Now my greatest fear is like, please don't fucking die on me. I mean, already that was a fear, but I'm like, now that we have a kid together, I'm like, oh no, it's really important.
I know. I get really afraid that one of us is going to fleabag the other person.
And that's what I'm saying, dude. Don't fucking do that shit.
I can't handle social media. Like, I don't even know.
I don't know where to begin.
Yeah, don't make me do social media. I think that's also why my like life is so much better is because now I don't have to do anything that I don't want to do.
Oh, valid, yeah. And now I get to do all the fun stuff because I was worried. I was like, fuck, like you have to learn how to do like inventory and order stuff, and like that's fine, but like, and then you have just been doing all of it. I still don't have to log in for our Amazon account. I'm like,
yeah, because why? You just tell me, or I just look and be like, oh, we need this.
Yeah, and it's so great because I'm like, yeah, whatever money you need, I'll just fucking toss it at you. Please, just like, take it. I don't fucking care.
Ooh, money bags over here.
Miss Money Bags. Miss Credit Score of 803, baby.
Anyways. That's also been really fun. It's because we get to tell clients those stories, and then my client was like, hers was like
8:30.
Yeah, 8:30.
Fucking like, impressive.
What the fuck? And then, because she was like, okay, well, mine's like 8:30. I'm like, that's amazing. I was like, but also, she's a child. And she's like, yeah, I worked really hard for mine. I'm like, she just like...
Intrinsically.
Intrinsically. Phenomenal. Just great with money.
I don't know how that happened.
Nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, so then my win for the week.
Yes. What's your win for the week?
My win for the week... Fuck, dude, I don't know. We literally just opened a studio. So my win for the week is passing our inspection. Because that was the actual inspection was nothing. It did take a really long time. But I'm not trying to piss off the government, so I'm not going to tell you guys all the details of it. But yeah, it took a long time. Mm-hmm. It took longer than I expected. So I had to cancel an appointment.
Dude.
But then we did finally get to tattoo this weekend, and that felt amazing. So tattooing is also my win for the week.
Yeah, tattooing.
I miss tattooing.
Oh my God, I miss tattooing. Dude, it felt so weird. Oh, my win for the week. I tattooed in our new space, and the piece that I did took half the amount of time than it normally would have. And I was like, I remember like being almost finished and being like, what the fuck just happened? Because we were just chatting and having a good time. And I felt like I was like lollygagging too, because we were all just like genuinely like, it felt so fucking cool being able to talk to you and your client and get to know your client.
And our clients were talking
and
to
then
each
our clients
other.
and it's so cute because it's like, we're all friends.
Yeah, like we all it genuinely felt like we were all hanging out. And I
so
understand that like they're in pain, but you could also just tell where everyone else just like felt better.
Yeah.
And then like my client, not to steal your
you're good.
time that you're talking, my client said the nicest thing, and she was like, yeah, you just like, it's like you feel lighter and happier.
Oh my God.
She's like, it's just like crazy to see that like you just feel better. And I was like, because I fucking am.
Have said that. So many of them have, because my clients were the same way, where they're just like, damn, dude, like, I'm proud of you. This is exciting. And I'm very open with it on social media. I think I recently posted that like, dude, I'm like bursting with like light and energy, and like I feel fucking charged up. Like I feel fucking so fired up, and I just want to swing for the fucking fences with every single tattoo that I do. Not that I wasn't doing that beforehand, but like this energy feels so different. You know what I mean? There's like a
it
fire
genuinely
to
does.
it. Yeah.
Like I guess the only way I can
chills.
possibly explain it is it's like, I don't know, it's like the whole, like, when you just had a baby and, like, you're, like, physically exhausted, but the, like, just love that you have in you is so big, and, like, that's what it feels like.
100%.
It's, like, everything, like, I was talking to Caboose about it, and I'm like, yeah, there's still lots of work, but, like, nothing feels hard.
Mm-mm.
Like, it feels where it's like, okay, I'm, like, still getting the flow of stuff, like answering emails, all that jazz. Mm-hmm. But it just, it feels light. It feels like, okay, cool, we can accomplish this. Oh, I just kicked the camera. Earthquake. Okay, wait, but you were...
My win,
yeah. Because you knocked out your tattoo. Hella good tattoo, you guys.
Thank you.
So good.
It was fucking clean, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
My win was, I don't know, doing that clean tattoo. My win is also... I had something substantial to say. Just knowing that I have a lot of feelings to work through, and being okay with that, and just being like, well, you know, therapy exists, so I'm excited to see my therapist. So that's my win.
Soon.
Yeah, totally. That's my win. That and getting my hair done today. So this is the last time you guys are going to see my hair like this, unless we record another episode after this. But, anyways, thank you guys for joining in. We appreciate you so much for listening to the podcast, and hope you tune in on our vlog. It's pretty fun.
Oh yeah, it's super cute. It's super fun.
Yeah.
She put in a ton of effort. I can't believe that all that footage, there was so much footage, is down to 20 minutes. Mm-hmm. Nuts. Just absolutely nuts.
Yeah, I felt bad because I was like, oh, God, there are so many things I would have done differently now after posting it. But, you know, that's typically how it goes, always. So it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, we love you guys. And we'll see you guys back next week.
See you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.